Reading the comments. This one's from Futile. Hey, heard of your channel from the unofficial Discord, and I'm glad I checked it out. Love your positive attitude despite the state of the game. Gotta say, a lot of the outposts you feature make me feel like I got a long way to go with my building. Dude, I showcase these, and I feel the same way. So don't feel bad at all. You'll go into some, you're like, man, there's no way I could ever make something like this. Outposts you feature make me feel like I've got a long way to go with my building skills, but I'm still gonna offer one up. It's Statham or Statham. Again, some of these I'm not confident on the pronunciations. By Futile. It's a small plot, brutal, that I built way back in the last beta, which is nothing crazy, but may bring some nostalgia from early builds. It's had a few updates, but it's about as casual as it gets for a brutal that still tries to get kills. You can bring whatever you want, but it wasn't really built with the demo can in mind. Yeah, absolutely. And if people say that, I'm totally cool with that, because I prefer that, because I would like to see how a base was intended. You know, it'll be real easy to go in some of our bases and like blow them up with, like, you know, whatever the next big weapon is. What should I bring in here? Something fun, maybe? How about like a sword and... well, it's meant to kill, so don't... yeah, just do that when in doubt, I would say. And then bring this, because you don't have boom cannon. No. Well, you'd bring grenades, though. Okay, sorry. Just trying to make sure I'm doing it legit, not like... there was someone had requested I not take a boom cannon, and I didn't, but I threw grenades, and he's like, well, you blew everything up anyways. And I was like, oh, well, shit. I didn't think that, you know, it was the, you know... I didn't consider it's the booms that he was trying to get rid of, not that it's specifically the boom cannon, you know? No reaction time. That was really good, though. Good secondary follow-up. Also, this needs to get a little more shout-out. Straight up, this is what I thought it was. I know it isn't. And this is especially hard, as you said. I love your positive attitude. Hopefully you take it this way. When I first saw it in the thumbnail, do you remember that meme of Mario bending over and spreading with his, like, if you had painted this, I would have thought this was that meme. It's a really cool looking entrance, but that is what first sparked that in me. So if you don't know what that is, don't look it up. It is truly something that will live in your mind rent free, and it's just an abomination. But it did remind me of it, and it did give me some nostalgia, which is funny, because I know you were talking about, hey, maybe this base will give you nostalgia towards the beginning of when things were. But you have mission successful. That was incredible. How did you get there? Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, you go on the drink, you. Double fire, nice. It's a cool looking room, too. The glow. I almost want to make a room like this and slant these right here. Like for a demonic temple. Yeah, that looks really cool. I just swore that was something. Nothing. If that exploded, I would have for sure thought something was coming up here. This has got splashy, so, you know, we got some weirdo stuff coming our way. Of the splashy variety. Nada. Oh, there's... ooh. Bask in the glow. Ah. A fight you seek. Mr. Ohm is futile. It's time. Let me show you what I think of your men. Ooh, shoot. Did I really just ruin the climax there? No, that's just... that's fucking cool. Use that as a desktop. Can only find it here on Dakaboom's channel. Things of mysterious... oh, double. Ooh, that's a cooker. I like that. I like that this is bouncing off of midair. It's kind of sweet. It must recognize this block as a trap entity and end there. And that makes me wonder, if you put napalm on this, will it stop here? Because that'd be fucking weird. To have, like, floating flames. I wonder if that's possible. This is something now. Ooh, nice. Like, you can see the cockroaches on the gray, too, better. Cool. Oh, that room. like the one like air duct unit here. It's pretty cool. Sorry that I may have otherwise ruined a really good image in your head of your base. But you gotta bear with me here. Hang on. I mean that, like, if you put another hand here and colored, you know what I mean, gave this like the tan color, this I'd be like, oh my god, this is that meme. I think you're absolutely right with the nostalgia. This did take me back, mostly because all of the paint schemes and stuff were the things you kind of saw early on. This is kind of a good showcase of what it kind of was like going into bases. If you kind of picked this up more recently, it was kind of these huge, like, well, not always, but people would build these large entrances like at the very beginning before people were getting creative. They were, you had to like display it in some way. Like I had like a devil face that you went into the mouth of, and people had different stuff, so you had to kind of set it aside so you could get people in. And then this is kind of how it looked, because the palettes and the there weren't many. This is the red metal with the stone, like kind of, I don't know what it's called, cement, I think. But yeah, this is kind of how it was, and it was a lot more like reacting to traps, a little more kind of less about the distracting parts, and just kind of like, I don't know, you definitely hit it with that. It does take me back. Yeah. And I kind of feel like it's cool, unless you guys have deleted yours. I imagine most people still have their first base, unless they like wiped it and then built over it. But some of those, like Clear Lake is a legacy base. Like I can't even do anything. I can't even remove a decal and put a new one on because it's so like over budget because of all the lava cubes. Like you can't build that base anymore. So it's kind of cool, and like I'll always hopefully be able to keep it unless some kind of memory wipe happens and we lose everything. So it's kind of cool that you have one of these from way back when, because this is, let me just see. Yeah, this is the beta. This is from the beta time, so that's kind of cool. And you got to remember too that this was much harder to prestige. I was stuck leveling mine for a really long time, and I had a base that killed a lot. I realized though, I think it's because the accolades weren't there. That was really important, and I think at the time I was maybe at the front of being kind of like really really hard on raiders. Other people were too, but like you could tell people were like, all right, I'm out of here, and leaving a lot. So the fact that he got 10, although it could have been after the fact, I guess, it's kind of also a testament that if he had this in the beta, got it to 10, this thing slayed. So really cool sending this in. This is kind of like a time capsule. There's one other guy who sent one in. He's like, hey, I've showed you some of my bases before. This is one like early on, and he's like, I know it's not like some of the stuff you've seen, and I was like really excited because I'm like, oh, this is kind of like a look back in time. You can kind of see how bases were. And it was just, this is everyone's base kind of. It was like a simple, you went in, you were experimenting, but this is where like you were having the most fun because it was all new. So this is cool. Trip down memory lane, man. Thanks for sending this in. Omis Futile and Statham or Statham.